By the way, you guys, I printed out a script for this because I don't want to lose track on what I'm trying to explain, because last time I tried filming this video, I just kept going off topic and it just wasn't working for me. So we have this now once again. But anyways, hi! What is up? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a good day. Just ignore the background noise. It's storming out right now. In this video, I want to talk about my college experience and why I decided to drop out from art school. And I was actually inspired by a girl that I actually know from college. Her name is Lynn. You can go check her out. She actually inspired me to make this video because she opened up about her experience going to art school and why she decided to leave, drop out, and I definitely feel that. It's gonna be a doozy since I wrote like 5 to 6 pages, even though it doesn't look like much, but yeah, I wrote a lot of notes. So if you guys are interested in hearing my story, then keep on watching. Before I explain more about my experience, I just want to make a disclaimer that I am not talking bad about the school. I'm not just saying anything mean. I'm not trying to bash on the school or anything. I'm just letting you guys know about my experience going to that school. It's like the whole it's not you, it's me kind of thing, because mentally I was not there. So just letting you guys know in advance. I went to school at Columbia College Chicago at around 2017, and I majored in contemporary urban popular music for the first 3 semesters, and then the last semester that I went to school, I switched majors from CUP for short to audio design and production. And it was my first college of choice actually when I was looking through different colleges based on what I really wanted to do, since my main focus was music performance. So I wanted to sing, improve my singing, as well as improving on my music production and audio engineering, right? The reason why I decided to go to a liberal arts college rather than a community college, which was my other choice, I thought, I was gonna go there. There are a couple reasons to that. One, I was kind of in the phase of me being distant between me and my parents because we just kind of didn't really get along. There was a whole entire phase of us just arguing back and forth because of their beliefs versus my beliefs, what they believe what's right and what's wrong, and vice versa. So that was just another thing. And, with me being a more liberal type person and my parents being more conservative, it was just kind of hard for us to, get along. And so I felt like going to college that's like a little bit further away from my parents, I felt like it would be a way for me to gain more independence and just pushing myself to do things on my own. And, it was a lot of money. I mean, I couldn't have done it without my parents, so I can't thank them enough for even giving me this opportunity to go to school. Other than that, it was just a way for me to, escape from, the suburbs and stuff, because I just really I'm still not really into the suburbs to this day. Like, I still love being in the city. I love going downtown, just traveling to different neighborhoods and seeing tall buildings and going to different coffee shops and all that. I just felt like if I were to go to community college, and I'm gonna see more familiar faces, and I just didn't want to be stuck at home. So it was just a way for me to escape. And that way I feel like it will give me more inspiration when it comes to creating ideas. So that was just another reason to why I wanted to go to Columbia. It was also around that time where I was just so insecure of myself. I was just so hard on myself. Like, I would just beat myself up whenever I make a small mistake, and whenever I get constructive criticism from people, I just think that my music isn't good, or that everything I do isn't good, and that I couldn't please everyone, and that I couldn't get validation from everyone. And luckily, now I don't need people's validation to feel validated. It's just I could only validate myself, and that I can't keep comparing myself to other people, or else I'd just be stuck in this whole entire loophole where, I just think that I suck. But it's not that I suck, it's just that there's still a lot for me to learn. Does that make sense? So yeah, I just really wasn't in that mindset to where I was feeling genuinely prepared of going to school. or just, becoming a responsible adult in general. I just, wanted to be on my own and just have my own company, and I just really want to be by myself because I never really had that kind of independence ever, and I just want to discover more of Chicago. The more I kept depending on the coping mechanisms that I used during those 2 years of me going to that school, the worse my issues got, because I really just was trying to focus on the short-term, happiness that a lot of people feel guilty of, honestly. I mean, I know that, I'm not the only person that thinks that way or has thought of things that way. Let's talk about my freshman year, shall we? So, as I mentioned before, I started going to school in 2017, and I actually dormed for the first time with 5 other people. You heard that right. 5 other people. Luckily, for the beginning of the semester, or actually the beginning of the whole year, we all got along at first, pretty well. We got to know each other. It was just pretty lighthearted, and we actually started talking with a lot of our neighbors that were living in our floor, and it was the most extroverted that I ever was. I would never do anything like that, but turns out I did. And I don't know if I'd say I regret it, but it was an experience. Eventually, my friends and I, we started to go out a little bit more before the first semester even started. And so we went Target shopping together, we went out to eat together and all that, which was amazing. I also brought in my music equipment because I thought I was gonna have time to make more music, because I thought, going to all these courses where I get to learn more about music theory, ear training, etc., I thought I was gonna apply each of the courses I was taking into the music that I've already have learned in my own free time, and that, I was gonna apply it to, my workflow. But turns out I didn't really have enough time to even work on any music at all. I mean, there were times that I did work on some music for some projects, but other than that, those are the only times that I've made music, or those are the only times that I was even able to make music at all. Eventually, class started, and as time progressed, my issues and just my well-being, it got pretty bad, and it was kind of the whole feel to the mess that I created in my noggin, okay? I was just getting more stressed out, and I started to have more mental breakdowns because, again, I was just really hard on myself. I became more stressed due to the amount of assignments that I had, and I just did whatever I could to distract myself, whether it be going on social media or going out to get coffee or just doing whatever I could. You get the picture, right? And not only I became distant with, my responsibilities, but I also became very distant with my roommates, because we're all going to different classes and we're focusing on our own thing with our different majors, so it was just kind of hard for us to even hang out and just getting to know each other a little bit better. Oh, and also, I get distracted really easily when it comes to doing work, and I never really took enough effort to keep myself from getting distracted whenever it comes to doing homework and stuff. I mean, there are times where I did go to the library just so that I could, find a different scenery so that I could do work and just trying to keep myself more focused. Eventually, I started going to school counseling, and I'm so glad that I did that because it pretty much helped me a little bit to have a better peace of mind in myself and that I wasn't alone. It was just nice to talk to someone about my problems rather than just internalizing in my head or just keep venting into different servers on Discord. And speaking of which, that was also around that time where I started using Discord actually. And since then I made so many amazing connections with friends and other artists and producers that I would have never thought I would even talk to. I have met so many amazing people online, and if you still talk to me to this day, if you know me personally or if you know me through Discord, I just want to thank you for reaching out to me and for letting me reach out to you even. So thanks so much to my online friends. I love you guys so much. Y'all mean the world to me. I kind of just projected my problems onto online like communities and without like even trying to solve the problem myself, because I was still in that kind of mindset where I felt like I have to depend on people as if they can solve my problems for me. But now like I'm just way past that now, and I'm starting to learn how to become more responsible with my actions, and you know, it's all good. We're all good, we're growing, and we're progressing, and that's all that matters. Not only have I met some amazing people online, but I also have met some pretty cool people in some of my classes, which is neat. Like, we're all just out here not knowing what the hell we're doing with our lives and what we're doing in general. Like, we're just out here, you know? We're here to learn more about music and art, and it's just great, you know? It's just, it's pretty cool. But the more people I've talked to, even though I'm like a completely like shy ass person, like most of the people that I've met, they mainly focus or want to focus on genres like classic rock. They also want to focus on jazz and pop and just around that field. And for me, I consider myself to be almost none of those things. And I don't really want to put myself in a box. I just don't want to focus on only one genre alone. A lot of the people that I've met not only are focusing on those specific fields, but they also are just starting out. Like, they don't really have a official or like even a portfolio or something like that where they have like a whole bunch of content or music that's out. And not only that, but it's just, I wouldn't say that like they don't have potential at all, but it's just that like there's just something missing for every person's content that I have watched or listened to. I felt like there just wasn't that one person in particular that was doing the exact same thing that I was doing. And it doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. It's just that like I haven't seen or have met someone that is focusing on music in the same particular field that I'm working with. I just couldn't find people that were kind of like not in the same level, but have that kind of like, I guess, that same experience level as I had, because I've been working on music by myself for around like 7 to 8 years now, and like it was kind of hard to find people that were in the same or similar field as I was getting into, where I'm just like an independent artist just working on my own thing. I just felt like they don't execute their work well, and I understand that they're just starting out, and the majority of art students are just starting out. I totally get it, okay? If that makes any sense, because for me, like, I just know if a person has potential to be the artist that they want to be, or if that particular field just isn't for them. I'm not that selective or picky when it comes to making friends. Like, as long as you respect me, then I can respect you. But it's just that like it was just kind of hard to find those types of people in general that I could really relate to. And although I met a lot of people, whether it be some of my roommates to some of the people that I've met from class that, you know, I could definitely relate to, it's just that like I just couldn't find people that were just making some of the music appear to me and just were into the same things as I was, like when it comes to having a certain music taste or whatever. Overall, like, even though that I still consider myself to be in my shell a lot, I still, you know, thankful and am so lucky to even meet these creatives that were also my classmates, and I'm just really am glad that I get to have that experience during, you know, my freshman year, and just knowing what going to college was like. It was just kind of a new door for me that opened in a way. Despite the fact that I have broke down so many times. It's kind of like blood, sweat, and tears, but only like 80% tears, 20% sweat, and 0% blood. Hi, this is editing Micah. Anyways, I literally just realized that I forgot the most important piece of information while I was talking about my freshman year, and that was when I rebranded and changed my name to Micah 13. So on April 13th of 2018, that was when Micah 13 was born, and it was all thanks to my older sister Jay, who actually came up with that name, because I kept complaining to her, hey, like, I really just don't like the name that I have right now, which was Paham. There was also some drama when I made that name change to Micah between me and my ex-roommate. So if you want to hear more about it, just let me know in the comments and I'll make a separate video about that. But yeah, so again, thanks Jay for that name change, and yeah. Okay, back to the video. Moving forward, let's move on to my sophomore year, in which I considered that year to be pretty much the worst year of my life. Sophomore year was the year that I started commuting from the suburbs to downtown. And during the summertime, I lived with my parents a little bit. Eventually, I moved in with my sister and her boyfriend. Yeah, so that was around the year that I started living above my parents' nail salon. I still struggled a lot with my mental health and with the way I saw myself. It was just a mess. And I forgot to mention, so going a little bit back into freshman year, that was also around the time where I started working out, because before I'm where I'm at now, my body was just so different. Like, I used to be so skinny to the point where I was like 130 pounds. Now I'm 170, which is insane. I never thought I would even get to that weight. So I'm pretty grateful that I'm in a good weight range for my height, if that makes any sense. By the way, if you want to know about my height, I'm 5'10", 5'11", if you guys are wondering. I would still have mental breakdowns, and I would still use these really bad and toxic coping mechanisms that I would use, where I just wouldn't take accountability towards my own actions, you know? And like, I was still very harsh and critical to myself whenever I did something wrong or made a simple mistake that really shouldn't be a big deal, but I would make it a big deal anyways, and I would just create assumptions easily to where like I just, you know, get really anxious. And I dealt with a lot of issues dealing with, you know, social interaction, because if you guys don't know, I have autism, but around that time, I just didn't really admit that I have autism. I just thought it was stupid. Since then, my mental health got worse. And not only was it a bad year for me, but I felt like everyone around me, like the whole world, we were just going through it, okay? Donald Trump became president, people dying, and it was also a big mess for two of my closest friends from back home, because they also lost a couple of their loved ones, unfortunately. One of my friends that I haven't talked to in a while, actually, her cousin passed away. And another friend of mine, you guys may or may not know her, but it's not Maddie, it's Hope, who's one of my closest friends since like middle school when I moved. Her brother unfortunately passed away. It was just awful to see like my loved ones go through so much pain. And so I just kind of had to stop what I was doing, and I just put more of my time on my friends, because yeah, my education is important, but my friends, they mean the world to me, and I want to do whatever I can to be there for my friends and for my loved ones. So I did what I have to do. I still continue going to school counseling because, you know, it came with the tuition, it was free, so I'm like taking that to advantage. And second semester of my sophomore year, I already mentioned it in the beginning of this video, but if you guys don't remember, that was also when I decided to switch my major. And the reason why I decided to make that decision was because I just really wasn't getting enough time to work on music and producing, as well as mixing and mastering, since that's what I do. Like, I do pretty much everything when it comes down to the whole mixing and mastering process, or just the whole like music production process. So since then, I still made some new friends. It was hard because I am just really shy and I'm just scared of people. Eventually, I kind of just got used to the environment and just got to know some people, which is pretty good. There was one class in particular, specifically self-management and freelancing, and it was that class in particular that I met someone I knew previously during the first semester, since we both were also focusing on music, and that person was the same person who asked me if I can collab with her on her personal project. And if you guys don't know, I actually made a video of me talking about this whole situation. So you can go click on the card somewhere in the video in the top right corner, I guess. Let's just discuss the tea, okay? If you guys don't know or if you guys don't remember, let me just recap it for you. We started collabing together where I helped her with music production as well as mixing and mastering because she has no experience on, or little to no experience with that side of music production. From what I know, she just knew how to sing and that was it. It went pretty well for a little while. I mean, we released a song together and we had a couple ideas that were set, even though like they weren't our original ideas, because she found these like type beats that she found on YouTube and thought, you know, we can make some songs that sound similar to them but are inspired by them, which I don't know what that meant. Please don't sue me, okay? I know that I was technically associated with that, but like, please just don't sue me. We had the track list down for our EP. The goal was to create, you know, a 5-track EP for her project. She set up a schedule for us so that way we have a set time for us to meet up and we could do some homework on the side but also work on some music. And once we're done, I just, you know, commute from the city to the suburbs and just call it a night, and then, you know, it repeats, right? So that way we can get things done in time. So it was a pretty good, consistent schedule, but here's the issue, right? She wanted to finish the EP in less than 3 to 4 months. Let me repeat that. She wanted to finish the EP in less than 3 to 4 months, which I find that to be an unrealistic ass goal. Because let me tell you something, okay? The only people that were taking part of this project was me and her. That was literally it. Plus, she's taking like a whole bunch of hours so that she can graduate early. Meanwhile, I literally dropped out from an online course, which I'm glad I did because it was a waste of my time. It was just already a lot on our plates. And when I was thinking about it in my head, I was just like, I don't know how we're gonna make this work. Like, no matter how many times we set the date back or whatever, like she wanted to, so we started working on the EP like at around January or something like that. She wanted to release the EP at around May. And you know, I get it, you're excited, you're trying to be as determined as you can, but you have to understand that like people just work differently. For me, I just go with the flow and I just do whatever feels right to me. And even then, I've been producing for 7 years and most of the time I just take my time with everything because either a song works out or if it doesn't work out. And I just felt like, you know, it was a little bit like she was pushing a little bit too hard and kind of had high expectations, which there is a life lesson to this, okay? So I'll go more into that. She kept spamming me with text messages. Whenever she has ideas, she would just like spam text me like 5 times, actually maybe like 20 times in a day, whenever she has ideas written down or whatever. And it gave me more anxiety. And if I have to be real with you guys, I should have said no when she gave me the offer because there was already so much on my plate and I was just already so hard on myself that, you know, I just felt like I was just putting a lot more pressure. And even then, I felt like she was putting a lot more pressure on me. Maybe she hasn't seen that the whole duration of us collabing together, but like I just felt like there was a whole bunch of pressure between me and her by the way she was handling the situation. The main reason why I didn't say no was I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I feel like she made me feel bad in a way where if I stopped working with her in a project or if I decided to quit, she wouldn't know who else to talk to, which looking back at, you know, our interactions, she's already talked to everyone around her, you know, like she already talked to some of her neighbors on her floor. She's a party goer, like she parties a ton. And not only that, but she gets along with her classmates really well. That doesn't take away with the fact that, you know, she might not know who else to talk to, but she does have the confidence to put herself out there where she's not afraid to talk to someone and just be like, I want to pitch in an idea and I was wondering if you want to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Around late April, I turned myself into the hospital because my mental health was just on the line, okay? My mental health was just going down. It's going down, I'm yelling timber. And I decided to text my loved ones, including some of my closest friends and my family, that I admitted myself into the hospital and I'm getting professional help with my noggin, my mental health. I also let my friend / collaborator know that, you know, I admitted myself into the hospital and I'm trying to work on my mental health and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, I'm so proud of you and stuff. Like, if you need anything, just let me know. And I'm like, thanks. Highly appreciate it. The next day, she decided to text me early in the morning saying that we needed to go meet up at the music building in our campus so that we could work on music. I kind of took it differently. Like, I felt like she was just being demanding at that point, and I just felt like she was mainly focusing on her project more than my mental health. My mental health was pretty fragile, and even though like we opened up about like our struggles, and there were a bit of flaws with our friendship, because I was kind of more focused with my own well-being compared to hers, because, you know, with depression and anxiety, you just kind of shut everything down and you just get really in your own head. So that was just my way of like coping with everything. When she said that, it kind of got me really irritated, and I just brought it up. And I just got out the hospital, and when I'm that depressed and when I'm that anxious, I just don't want to work on anything. I just want to ignore everything around me. I just don't want to exist. So I told her how I really felt. And looking back, I kind of understood how irritated she felt whenever I let my emotions interfere with our collab. But, you know, with depression and anxiety, we just deal with it differently, and I just let my emotions get the best of me. It was just the main factor that kind of dragged on the whole music making process, and I have to apologize for that, because, you know, I should have been more responsible with, you know, my emotions, the way I handle certain situations. I just was not in a good mental state at that situation I was in. I just not fully in it to put my full attention on her because of how bad mental health was. We started to have a really heated argument. Like, it was bad. I'm talking like she like spam texted me like 6 times in the span of 2 hours. Like, I'm telling you, like, the length of text messages that she would send to me, like, they were the length of the Holy Bible. And like, she kept saying how she's seen my true colors, or that I never cared about her at all. Here's the thing. She asked me if she and I could move into an apartment together so that we could spend more time to like hang out and work on some music together, since we were both getting along really well. And I said yes. I said yes. Okay? If I never cared for you, I would have not accepted the offer when you asked me if I wanted to move in with you. Okay? I wouldn't even have taken the time to put in my best effort, even if I was just feeling sad as hell, okay? And yeah, I understand that my emotions got the best of me, and I understood that I was mainly focusing on myself. She also called me delusional too, when I was just explaining about her perspective about the whole situation and how I called her selfish and stuff. And like, she kept saying how like she was being a good friend when literally she kept invading, you know, my personal space. Maybe it could have been a whole like miscommunication barrier, I don't know, but either way, the way she handled the situation, it was just so bad. And maybe even the way I handled the situation myself, because we were just both in our own heads, you know, like we were just heated, probably were just putting our anger towards each other, I don't know, but either way, the way she handled the situation, it was just not the best way to do it. I was telling two of my closest friends about the whole situation, and they actually agreed that what she was doing was wrong, and that she was being really invasive with the way she's putting me in a corner, as if that's the best way for me to speak my mind. And mind you, this was all happening in the same day. Like, the day after I left the hospital, like the night after I left, that was happening for like 3 days in a row. And that entire week, I was just going through hell because of her, okay? Because of my well-being, and because of the way that she was handling the situation, as if she's trying to put me in a corner. Like, she's using that Karen energy and just shoving it down my throat. She genuinely gave me a more difficult time when I was trying to process everything, and I just felt like she wasn't giving me that time. It was just a whole entire mess, and she almost broke me down to a T. I literally wrote this in my notes, but it just really wasn't that cash money of her. Like, it was honestly so not cash money of her to treat me like that. I know that there were times where she did bring up certain things about me being irresponsible, which is valid. I will give her that. But that doesn't take away or justify the way she handled the entire situation and the way she treated me during the whole entire process. And again, I just felt like she was just taking advantage of the whole situation, and that I just feel like she's taking my mental health to her advantage when it comes to trying to schedule everything and stuff. And it just made me realize that I didn't deserve to have toxic people like her in her life, especially if my mental health is just really unstable. I can understand if there's some personal stuff in her life. I know that she told me how frustrated she gets whenever she would, ask her friends if they want to be a part of like her project or whatever, and then they bail. And it's like, I get it, but like, just consider what your friends are going through. Maybe that's why you kind of have a hard time making friends, just that you just don't put yourself in the other person's shoes. And I totally get that, because I literally do the exact same thing. I'm not saying that like I don't care about my friends. I do. It's just that I'm guilty of just talking about myself more than paying more attention to my friends. And I'm working on that, okay? I'm genuinely working on that, and I'm accepting that now, and I'm being more aware of my flaws, and I'm not afraid to combat through my flaws and just accepting them, okay? So we're in a better place now. I'm in a better place now. And it was just sad because I thought I could trust her. I genuinely thought I could trust her. And, the beginning of the entire friendship, we just got along so well, and we related with a lot of things. And it just kind of sucked that it had to end that way. Yeah, she just treated me poorly, regardless if she tells herself that she's a good friend. Moral of the story is, please, whatever you do, set your expectations low so that you don't keep getting disappointed in the long run. Not only are you giving yourself an easier time to process everything as well as setting your priorities, but you're also giving the people that, whether it be your loved ones or whether it be your collaborators, you're giving them an easier time so that way they can be more flexible with their time and just do whatever they can to support themselves with whatever struggle or whatever situation that they're going through, okay? That shit's gonna change, okay? You can't just expect everything to just come together as if like this was gonna happen that specific time, and if this goes well, then I'm gonna get the results that I want. You're just giving yourself a harder time. You're giving yourself a more difficult time. And so I would just recommend to please be patient, okay? Please be patient, and please do not give the other person more pressure in order to get to where you want to be, okay? And just be understanding. Just put yourself in other people's shoes and just understand that maybe you're not in that kind of same headspace or in that same wavelength. So just keep your expectations low and just don't put people in that kind of pressure like that. And now that I have seen what she had done in the past, I now realize what her true colors were. And to be honest, they are pretty ugly and are pretty deceiving. So have fun. Tweet like a stand account and make some YouTube videos where you brag about your singing as if it's going to get you a record deal for 30 minutes straight. Eventually, I decided to leave the semester early because obviously I just couldn't handle the stress that I had to deal with for the past 2 years of me going to Columbia. I just really wanted to take some more time focusing on myself and, better my mental health because that's important, you know what I mean? So that's what, I've been doing. And so far, I'm doing pretty good. I've been spending more time with family. I've been spending more time with, my close friends at home. And, I'm just feel more confident within myself. And I've just been working on my music. And I've just been working on more of my YouTube content. I'm just minding my damn business. So we're good. Okay? We're good. And that's all that matters. Okay? So let's talk about the aftermath, okay? Originally, I thought I was only going to take a semester off from school, which I did. But little did I know that I was going to take a whole entire year off from school. The main reason why I decided to take 2 semesters off was because when I was setting up my schedule for the second semester during the winter, actually, I was talking to my parents about it, and we just kind of came to the consensus that with the schedule that I made for the semester that I thought I was going to get into doesn't look like I have the time to go to all my classes 5 days a week while also commuting at the same time. No. Okay, absolutely the hell not, okay? I'm just gonna take the whole year off in general, okay? That way I'd have more time to work so that I can make more money and that I could save up a little bit more. Plus, I could just work on my mental health a little bit better. I'm just happy that I'm taking more time for myself, and plus, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go back to school anytime soon because coronavirus, okay, COVID-19, is just getting the best of us. I started going to therapy for about 6 months, which was pretty alright. I mean, I wouldn't say that therapy helped me completely. I just didn't like the way the sessions were laid out. That's really all I could say. And I think I mentioned this already, but I spent some time with my friends back home, which is really nice because I haven't talked to my friends in a hot minute, and now I just can't hang out with anybody because quarantine season, we just can't. I also have been working at a pizzeria. I've worked there for maybe 1 or 2 months now, but now I'm just taking 3 weeks to a whole month off because still in quarantine, I just don't want to get sick. So now I'm just at home at my parents and just, spending more time with my little sister and my grandma and my family, of course. And that way we could just keep a better eye on each other, so that way we could just make sure that we're being safe and that, we're staying healthy. I've already talked about it in my last video where I moved back to my parents, so I just missed having my own company, but it's for the best that, I stay close to my family because it's the best we can do right now with quarantine. And if you guys are still struggling, I can't even imagine what you guys have to go through, so I wish I could help you guys all that I can, but right now all I could do is just spread awareness and just to let you guys know that I'm here for you and I'm rooting for all of you. So please don't give up, continue to stay safe, keep practicing social distancing, and just, again, please be safe. I love you guys so much, and that's all I can really say. I don't know what else to say. So, yeah, please stay safe. You guys might be asking, what are you gonna do now that you left art school? I'm thinking about going to community college once this whole quarantine season's over with to major in aesthetics. More specifically, I want to specialize in skincare. And the reason why is because I feel like it'll give me better job opportunities. It'll give me easier time when it comes down to looking for job opportunities. And plus, I love skincare. I have been getting more into it recently, and I've always been fascinated with beauty. I think when I got into makeup and skincare, it just kind of did it for me. And that doesn't mean I'm giving up music. I'm still, I'm gonna do music, so hopefully where I could, make it as a career or a job. But right now, I just kind of need a backup plan. And I know a lot of people kind of have their opinions on it, but for me, I just think that it's a safer option for me to specialize in skincare because I feel like it'll give me easier time trying to find a position and try to find better jobs that will give me better pay. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Yeah. That's really the game plan for me right now. But yeah, that's my current situation right now. I definitely feel a lot better. I definitely feel a lot more confident. But yeah, I think that's all I really have with my college experience and why I left. And if you guys are in a similar situation where you drop out of school for personal reasons, or if you just feel like college just isn't for you, I just want to let you guys know that you are not alone. If people are purposefully making you feel bad because of the fact that you dropped out, just tell them to suck a chode. Honestly, you just gotta do what's best for you, and that's all that really matters, because we're all going through something, and just mind your business and keep doing your thing, because nothing matters at the end of the day. And the best thing we could do is to just live our lives to the fullest on our own terms, and that's all we could really do. I think that is it. If you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching and for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks to Morgan for inspiring me to make this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see next. Subscribe, like and share this video, turn on post notifications so you know when I post a new video. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, etc. I'll leave all the links in the description below. and I'll also link my music links in the description below as well. Also, I just want to let you guys know that I released a new single that came out about like a week or 2 weeks ago. It's called Overburden. You can go stream it. I'll leave the fan link in the description so you guys can hear. Again, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!